Batman is probably the character with the highest number of romantic relationships. The Dark Knight has never had a long-standing leading partner, and instead, he has been constantly switching interests when it comes to romance. It is difficult for him to maintain a serious relationship with a woman as a result of his obsession with his crusade against crime, but they always come to a rather abrupt end because of the lack of trust and constant absence shown by Wayne. Julie Madison, the daughter of Norman Madison, a wealthy entrepreneur, a law student, and actress, the first woman ever to date Bruce Wayne. Julie and Bruce were engaged, but they broke up after her acting career took off and she became disillusioned with his playboy lifestyle. After her breakup with Bruce, she married the King of Moldavia. After her first husband died, she married Prince John of Tyburn. Vicki Vale, a photographer, reporter, was a woman smart enough to expose Batman's secret identity. In this quest, she became involved with Bruce Wayne, as she suspected him of being Batman, and she was determined to find evidence, and finally got proof of Batman's identity, but she kept it to herself and became a confidant and ally of the Batman family rather than a love interest of Bruce Wayne. Batman's relationship with Selina Kyle, the Catwoman, is the most enduring and iconic of his relationships. Batman often flirted with Catwoman, as he was charmed by her beauty. Later Batman admitted his love for her, formally marrying shortly after and having a daughter, Helena Wayne, who later became the Huntress. Talia al Ghul, the daughter of the supervillain Ra's al Ghul, during their first encounters, Talia showed a devotion to the Dark Knight as strong as her love for her father, often saving Batman, but always choosing to remain by her father's side. After several encounters with Ra's, Talia and Bruce eventually had a sexual encounter, from which their son Damian Wayne was born. Over time, Talia became more antagonistic towards Batman, seeking to fulfill her father's goals and rule the world with Batman at her side, and declaring war against him after his refusal. Bruce first met Amina Franklin, a nurse working at Leslie Tompkins' clinic, at a party, and the two dated for a short time. Amina's brother Wayne operated as the criminal known as Grotesque, and she was killed by her brother during a confrontation between him and Batman. April Clarkson, Midnight, was a GCPD officer who briefly dated Bruce Wayne and assisted him as Batman in tracking down the criminal known as Midnight, who had begun terrorizing Gotham and gruesomely murdering the city's most corrupt. Bruce developed strong feelings for April and was devastated to eventually discover that she was in fact the deranged murderer all along. We need your support by subscribing and liking and sharing the video to continue producing your favorite content, and please comment about the content that you like to be produced. Batman and Becca, the wife of Orion, had a strong attraction to each other after she rescued him from Darkseid's forces on the planet Tartarus. She could create desire in others, but it was strongest with those who denied themselves love. The desires, however, would also afflict her. She, however, had to leave him for Orion, but was later murdered. Although Black Canary has a long-standing relationship with Green Arrow, she has shown an attraction to the Dark Knight, and she and Batman have shared kisses from time to time. Charlotte Rivers, a Gotham City news reporter and brief girlfriend of Bruce Wayne, desired to leave Gotham, which put a rift between her and Bruce. After being seriously injured in an attempt on her life by her twin sister Jill, called off her relationship with Wayne and accepted a job offer in Paris. Dawn Golden, the daughter of Aleister Golden, a member of a cult that practiced dark magic. She was a childhood friend of Bruce, and later his girlfriend in college, where she have broken his heart. Dawn went on to become a socialite in Gotham, until her father murdered her as part of a ritual to grant himself eternal life. Harley Quinn is one of the most surprising Batman's love interests. They were enemies, and Harley was the Joker's right hand, Batman's greatest enemy. However, Harley didn't always hide her attraction to both Batman and Bruce Wayne, even when she didn't know these two were the same person, and flirted with Batman and Bruce. Jaina Hudson, White Rabbit, was a Gotham socialite of Indian descent who met Bruce at a charity fundraiser and later went on a few dates with him. He later discovered she had the unique power to duplicate herself into two separate beings, herself and a scantily clad criminal called the White Rabbit. The White Rabbit worked against Batman and often led him to other villains such as the Joker and Bane. Jezebel Jet was a wealthy woman of African descent who lost her parents. Jezebel was a model and owned an African province. She secretly worked for the Black Glove, and gained Bruce Wayne's love as part of a plot to destroy him. She was later killed on Talia's orders. We need your support by subscribing and liking and sharing the video to continue producing your favorite content, and please comment about the content that you like to be produced. Bruce found himself attracted to a woman who called herself Gillian Maxwell after meeting her at a costume party. However, he later discovered the criminal record of her, who had used many aliases to seduce young, wealthy men, then later arranged events that led to their deaths so she could claim their wealth. When she used the identity Audrey Marguerite in Brazil, Bruce, as Batman, sent her a note, ordering her to confess all her crimes. Julia Pennyworth, Julia Remarque, the daughter of Alfred and French resistance fighter Emile Marie, were dating, which caused problems with Batman's other relationships, though the crisis then erased Julia. Kathy Kane, Batwoman, a female counterpart for Batman, developed into a romantic partner for Bruce, and was murdered by the League of Assassins. Linda Page, as a romantic partner for Bruce Wayne, was a former socialite. She dedicated her time as a nurse for the elderly. She dated Bruce sometimes, but later disappeared. Lois Lane, who still worked as a reporter for the Daily Planet, met Batman while trying to meet with Richard Mangubat in Gotham. He saved her life multiple times and was confident in her abilities to fight. As she sparred with him on a rooftop, in Batgirl's suit, Batman flirted with her and had developed an attraction towards her, while also trying to take her help in his cases. The two mutually fell in love. Bruce met museum curator Lorna Shore during the beginning of his career. It was love at first sight, as Bruce was able to find peace when he was with her for the first time since his parents' murder. However, after his encounter with the Joker and realizing that there would be more enemies like him, he broke off their relationship to protect Lorna. Mallory Moxon, the daughter of mob boss Lou Moxon, knew Bruce as a child, and the two briefly dated as children before drifting apart. They later met again in adulthood, and Bruce dated her while suspecting that she was continuing her father's criminal operation. We need your support by subscribing and liking and sharing the video to continue producing your favorite content, and please comment about the content that you like to be produced. The most remarkable of Batman's love interests was Nocturna, Natalia Knight. She was a jewel thief who briefly adopted Jason Todd and knew that Bruce Wayne was Batman. Natalia suffered from a rare, light sensitivity disease, and her skin was bleached white. Nocturna used a special narcotic as a perfume, which caused every male to fall deeply for her. Nocturna disappeared after being stabbed by her brother, floating into the crimson sky of the crisis in her balloon. Natalia Trusevich, a Ukrainian concert pianist and girlfriend of Bruce Wayne, grew frustrated with Bruce's closed-off demeanor, until he was urged by Alfred to reveal to her his secret identity. Shortly after, Natalia was abducted by the Mad Hatter, who attempted to torture her into revealing the identity of Batman. Natalia refused to divulge Bruce's secret and was thrown by the Mad Hatter from a helicopter to her death. Pamela Isley, Poison Ivy, is a villain who often relies on seduction and the manipulation of pheromones to drive men around her to obey. Bruce and Pamela had a brief but genuine romantic relationship after he helped to cure her of her condition. Bruce Wayne fell in love with Rachel Caspian, but Rachel's father moonlighted as a murderous vigilante who committed suicide. Discovery of her father's evils drove Rachel to pay her father's penance on his behalf by enrolling in a nunnery and breaking off her engagement with Bruce Wayne, who had prepared to end his crime-fighting career to marry her. Sasha Bordeaux was Bruce Wayne's bodyguard, and deduced that Bruce was Batman and briefly fought at his side. She was framed for the murder of Bruce's girlfriend Vesper Fairchild and later joined Maxwell Lord's Checkmate organization. In the OMAC project, Bordeaux was turned into a cyborg OMAC, but this incident was later resolved and Sasha and Batman kissed each other. Their relationship seemed to have passed on. Silver Street. Cloud was a socialite who dated Bruce Wayne and managed to deduce the secret of his alter ego. However, she couldn't handle being involved with someone in such a dangerous line of work. She and Bruce tried to make a serious relationship work, but things fell apart after she was kidnapped by the Joker. Silver was later tragically murdered by the villain Onomatopoeia. Chandra Kinsolving was a psychic and the half-sister of Benedict Asp. She had a brief love affair with Batman, having been brought in to help him when Bane broke his back. Benedict kidnapped her and turned her abilities to evil use. Batman eventually defeated Benedict, but the damage to Chandra's mind was too great. Bruce paid for her care at a psychiatric institution, ensuring she received the best treatment for the rest of her life. We need your support by subscribing and liking and sharing the video to continue producing your favorite content, and please comment about the content that you like to be produced. Bruce Wayne began dating radio talk show host Vesper Fairchild after they shared a flirtatious interview. She killed by David Kane on orders from Lex Luthor. Wonder Woman genuinely fell in love with Batman while initially pretending to do so in order to nab Copperhead. The two later expressed interest in each other. Batman and Wonder Woman's attraction towards each other led to a passionate kiss between them. From there on, romance blossoms, with Wonder Woman realizing she wasted her time crushing on Clark Kent, yet the true love of her life was a mere mortal. Zatanna, the powerful magician, and Bruce Wayne met in their youth and were interested in each other when he trained with Zatanna's father. But Bruce gave priority to the pursuit of his training to become Batman. As adults they met again and realized they cared for each other. Their friendship, built on shared interests and mutual respect, eventually evolved into a flirtatious and enchanting romance. Andrea Beaumont is a woman that Bruce Wayne was briefly engaged to prior to becoming Batman. She is the closest to Bruce Wayne, character-wise. Andrea experienced a similar type of family loss that he did, as the Mafia had murdered her father. Andrea became obsessed with getting revenge. She took on the identity of the masked vigilante Phantasm and went after criminals, which ultimately led to the destruction of her and Bruce's relationship. Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, the daughter of Police Commissioner James Gordon, had a brief relationship with Bruce. It's revealed the two gave into romantic impulses and Bruce had made her pregnant. Chase Meridian was a psychoanalyst that worked in tandem with the Gotham Police Department. Chase takes the initiative by intentionally seducing Batman, and was in love Batman. Rachel Dawes, the childhood friend of Bruce Wayne and, later, his love interest. She left him as she knew Gotham needed Batman. Rachel is ultimately killed during the Joker's chaotic actions in Gotham. We need your support by subscribing and liking and sharing the video to continue producing your favorite content, and please comment about the content that you like to be produced.